Good evening and hello, and we are doing a FPL review of Game Week 28 and a preview for double Game Week 29. That's right, it's a big double game week, not quite as big as Game Week 28, which had 8 teams doubling, but this has got 6 doubling, so still pretty decent. And I can in fact reveal that this week, against all the odds, right, I was not expecting this, but I'm using a chip this week. That's right, I'm wildcarding. Now you might think, what are you actually doing? Keep your team. It's good with fixtures. It's good with players. And then free hitting 30 with the blanks and you'll be fine. But no, I do things my way. Because I looked at one part of this team. I looked at this team. By the way, football stands together. What's going on in Ukraine is awful. And, I hope they can get out of it. But what I'm saying is this team is not standing together. This team is disunited. It's awful in Fantasy Premier League. It's not getting any points, and I'm not happy with it. So I need a whole rejig. I need a reset button, and this is where the wildcard comes in. Now, I haven't actually, admittedly, put together the wildcard yet, because I was thinking about one or other wildcards, and I was like, do I wildcard, do I not? To wildcard or not, that is the question, to be or not to be, as that very well-known phrase goes. So, yeah, we'll talk about Game Week 28, we'll assess our options, and then talk about 29 and make any transfers needed. But obviously, this is subject to change, right? Because I'm filming this at the time of Friday, and realistically, I feel like it could change. If I'm going to actually activate it, which I think I will, then I could make last-minute changes that I don't talk about. We'll talk about on a future video, hopefully. It's a busy time right now, but we'll try and get out what we can. But the point is, we're going to review 28 before all of that and just kind of work out where it all went wrong. Because it all did, right? I'm not going to play it down. This was probably... I know it's not going to say it by the number of points I scored, because obviously there's been worse points this season, right? If you look back at the archives, we've had some shockers this season. We've had 37 in Game Week 6. That was disgusting. 7 game weeks of the season. I don't know what that word was. 7th game week of the season, 45 points. Grim. Game week 10, I remember that with a vivid eye. That was basically the same fixtures that will be happening game week 30, but obviously there's only 4 of them this time around. But basically, that was the reverse fixtures of those. And I captained Kane against West Ham, didn't captain Salah against Man United. It was honestly the worst point of my FPL season. It was the lowest point. But this point doesn't come that far away. So 13 was a shambles. I remember that as well. That was just so awful. And then obviously we also had, I think we had another low scoring week. Yeah, that was it, 23, where we had 22 points on the bench. That could have been the bench boost week. But who'd have known that Luca Dean would have scored points against Everton? You just can't really do much about that one. So, going back to Game Week 28, it was one where I thought I'd done the right decisions. I thought I'd maximised this double game week, because obviously we had 8 teams doubling. So I thought, well, what's the right amount of players to have that double and also that could have a good team for 29? So I brought in 3 players doubling. So you think, okay, surely that's going to pay off in the long run. Is it my worst team I've had ever? Possibly. But look, the point is, it was a shambles this week. So let's talk about what I actually did this game week. So my first move in the transfers was bringing in Che Adams for his double game week against Newcastle and Aston Villa, and I replaced him for Neil Mopai, right? Because I knew that Mopai was out of favour at Brighton. Brighton are out of form. He didn't play in 30. All right, yeah, he doubled in 29, but it was awful fixtures. I wasn't feeling the Mopai form, right? I got him for that one game against Watford, scored a great goal, but then I was like, okay, I don't really need to use him anymore. So he was good while it lasted, but it lasted very briefly. So you think, okay, surely I'm going to get a move on that. He's got 2 fixtures. Surely that's going to be an income, a gain on points. And yes, okay, it was. So Mopai got 1 point for playing like 20 minutes or something mad. So that was a tactical genius, because Mopai was benched, and I was like, yes, come on. This is now your time to shine, Che. And what did he do against Aston Villa? Barely nothing. Had one chance, I think, that was noticeable right near the end, where he hit it across goal, Martinez saved it, and he kind of saved it and like skewed it, and it went over the bar, and it was like, well, that really easily could have been a goal, but he's just from a tight-ish angle. Basically, he's got to be doing better. So that was really frustrating. So then you're all right, forget that, whatever. You know, if the whole Southampton team had a mare, that's fine. I don't mind about that. At least, you know, Brozier didn't outscore him. Then you turn your attention to the Newcastle game. You think, okay, now we really need to get some points here. Like, come on, Newcastle, they're pretty leaky, right? Yes, they did concede, but Shay Adams did nothing, and he had that chance where it hit the bar, and I was like, well, that's just not fair, is it? He's hit that. So true. Dubravka's beaten. He's got no chance. He's got no hope. And it hits the bar and bounces out. And, like, it's just so frustrating. Because I thought about all the players I could have got on the forward line. And I had tinkered with a few options. I tinkered with Watkins. Didn't go for him. What does he do? He scores in the first game against Southampton. Gets an assist, I think, as well. Just frustrating. I mean, he did get booked in the Leeds game. But look, he still returned. At least that's something. I thought about Ings as well, and look, he scored in both games. Like, what can you do? Oh no, he didn't actually. He scored against Southampton. Then I think he assisted in the Leeds game. But anyway, the point I'm saying is he outscored him, right? And that is frustrating. So the forwards decision was a stinker, right? But we've had that all season. Like, the forwards have been utter garbage, so it's not really anything different. The other transfer I made was Willock in for Fernandes. Now, I know you're going to say, why are you selling Bruno Fernandes? Well, if you've been watching Manchester United this season, you'll know why. They've been awful. And United don't double. They don't have a fixture in 30. It's like, well, there's no point in keeping Bruno, especially with an away match to Man City. So, again, just like Mopai, it was a good transfer, right? Because Mopai blanked, Fernandes blanks, but Willock had 2 games, and yet he only gets 2 points more than him. So you just got to think that's unlucky, because I was this close. I'm telling you, you can't see me, but I'm showing it with my fingers. I was this close, millimetres, from doing a double change. So I pretty much locked in at Che Adams from quite early on Saturday morning. So I was like, okay, that's just the one I feel like doing. It's differential. Let's go for it. And it's just the week that shows that differentials aren't worth it for the sake of differentials. Like, just get the best players. And Coutinho and James were the players I was going to get in ahead of that deadline, along with Adams. And what did I do? I was tinkering with it. I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe Villa won't do it because they've only got, you know, they've not got a game in a double game week in 29. I thought, well, yeah, okay, he's got a double game week here, but I'd much rather a double-double with Willock. And I'm like, well, why did I change my mind? Because I was going to do it. And I was going to bring in Coutinho and captain him. That's the most frustrating thing about it. So what did I do? I brought in Willock. And because it was Willock, I was like, well, I'm not going to captain him. So then I changed my captaincy to Rudiger because he had 2 games. So that's annoying because it could have been Coutinho. It could have easily been Fraser. I was tinkering with him as well, but I went with the wrong Newcastle player. So like, it's just all gone basically a mess. And you can't really say anything else. I've made a mistake. I've got to try and learn from it and come back a better manager. But also, the Rudiger one, it's like, come on, man. Like, I literally was going to get James in, and because I'm so scared of making a mistake and just not playing with the risks, when really I knew Rudiger was Reece James was the better option. And I know what you're also going to say, it's not too bad, but it is bad, right? I know Rudiger misses the second game, and so does James, but to miss out on that 36-point haul on a captaincy is really hard. Like, 19 points is just unbelievable. And that was what I was hoping for from that second game. So basically, I needed Rudiger to get 13 in that second match because he got the clean sheet in the first one. But he gets benched. He gets unused as a substitute. It's just pain. It's absolute pain. So that transfer, again, logical, right? Because I wanted a player with 2 fixtures. Van Dijk only had 1. Okay, yeah, he got 6 points in that one game against West Ham. But look, I had 2 fixture possibility for Rudiger. And he had 1 fixture. So he was, just like with Luca Digne this week, a double game week player turned into a single game week player down to rotation. And with Digne, so unlucky, he gets COVID. So what can you do about that? But finally, Villa keep a clean sheet. So a clean sheet against Leeds, all right, I'll take that on the chin because, no, take that on the chin's the wrong word. I'll take that, with a pinch of salt. I'll be happy with it because I've not got many clean sheets from Villa recently. So look, it was a mess, right? But it's just so unfortunate. Foster shambolic. I mean, how this guy has 2 fixtures and gets less points than Ramsdale with 1, I just do not know. This guy, oh, dearie me, 1 point, shambolic. I mean, it's just the week that shows that single game weeks are better than double game week. Like, honestly, it's awful. So when you think about the players that had single game weeks, right, they honestly were so much better than the double game week players. So I got myself a total of 14 points from players who were playing twice, and I got myself 9 points from Van Dijk, Fernandes, Mopai, and they had much less fixtures to play. So that is just a show that sometimes double game weekers are not worth it. But you always just get tempted in. You just have no choice but to do it. But anyway, the point is, that's the shambles. Digne, all right, we'll take it. Rudiger, shambles. Tierney, very frustrating, right? Because I was never going to realistically do this. But Douglas Luiz sitting on my bench, 10 points. It's bench fodder. You're never going to start bench fodder. I know he's got a double game week, but he's just so bad. He always gets 2 pointers. So I'm like, well, the Tierney attacking clean sheet, maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know, it's frustrating. He gets his first goal of the whole season in that first Southampton game. What can you do about that? Then Cancelo. Blanks. Okay, whatever. He had a great attempt with an overhead kick, but he's just not quite Cucho Hernandez, is he? But anyway, the point is, that's a frustrating one because you thought maybe a clean sheet and you thought maybe an attacking return, but no. Trent, though, the other attacking defensive must-have, is a legend, right? Assist, bonuses, you just can't complain. Salah, for once, blanks. I mean, I'm glad I didn't captain him, but goodness me, like, taken off on 78 minutes as well, like, I guess he's saving him for Inter. But look, it's crazy. FPL is just all over the place at the minute. Even Salah's not scoring. Saka, legend. Absolute legend. For FPL-wise, legend. For Watford-wise, you hate to see it. Why's he got to go and ruin Watford's day? But look, he's just Watford through and through. And what I mean by that is he was at the Watford Community Trust. So like he was there from a young age. I'm not saying we made him, but we kind of did. But no, the point is, great game week. 4 points from Willock. You absolute mess. Adams, the same. Jimenez. Finally, the patience pays off with Raul Jimenez. I mean, I don't know if I can still keep the patience, even after that goal. Because, look, he's just been so dodgy. And 70 minutes played, I guess they were 3-0 up. But look, he's not been the Jimenez we thought he would be, right? That's for sure. Ramsdale, 2 points. King, missed a sitter. I'm glad I benched him, to be honest. Bowen is now out, confirmed. And Douglas Luiz, very frustrating. So look, it was the game week from hell. It was honestly awful. We went below the average just on our game week score with 66. The average was 68. And if you think about the -8 in consideration, it was technically 58. So look at that game week rank. 4,566,943. Disgusting. I absolutely hate it. So down 60% in terms of my rank. That is awful. So yeah, down to 212,710. We were originally on 132k. So our goal of top 100k has taken a bit of a hit, is fair to say. But what can you do? Down by 80,406. That is an awful red arrow. And can I just say, our run has been unbelievable. That is our first red arrow since game week 14. I mean, look at this, man. What a run I've been on. But no, this is where it ends. And this is where the wild card has to come in. Because, look, my team's a mess. What can we do? I've got Bowen out injured. I've got King out injured. I've got Cancelo out injured. Now, obviously, Cancelo, you could argue to keep him. But City don't double. I don't know. It's kind of like, well, let's see. Willock, waste of space. Adams, do I want him? No. Do I want Douglas Luiz? Always rotting my bench when... I say always, but like bench fodder, he's annoying me. So look, this is the thing. I'm not happy with my team in the slightest. The only happy player is Saka, Salah, and probably Trent. That's about it. The rest of it, I could honestly remove. And Ramsdale, obviously, good for long term. But this is where the Game Week 29 conundrum comes in. So we start our review of Game Week 29. For a second there, I thought Arsenal blanked. I was honestly bricking it, but it's all right. It's updated now. So this is my team for the game week. A shambles, I know, but what can we do? So I had originally had Salah as captain, but forget all that because we are doing a wild card. Now, I don't know if this is the best strategy because I really do like Ramsdale long term. That's the bit of the problem because I need to kind of shift money around. But this is what I was thinking. This is thinkering. So it's a combination of thinking and tinkering. But look, I don't like to do it. But he's got 2 games this week. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Martin Dubravka, just for this week. But then I can always bench him when Newcastle don't play in 30. Right? Then we get in a player that plays in 30. David Raya. Okay. Not too shabby. We also do a little bit of Amate. Now, I know you're going to say, awful FPL asset, but he plays in 30. Right, so this allows me to have loads of doublers and a full 11 in 30. Now, not many people are going to have that. So that's already differential. Not just bringing in bad players is differential, but also having the right amount of players is differential. Now, I know we said last week, differential for differential's sake, but I don't think this is differential's sake. This is actually helping my team maximise 29 and 30, and then I don't have to free hit in 30. I can use it in 33 or 36. Boom. Solid transfer strategy, that one. And look, we've got to accelerate. We've got to make this moment count. It's now or never to save our season. So let's wildcard. Now, it's difficult because 4 teams in 30 doesn't make me have an easy option. But I think there's still enough good players than there are bad players, if you get what I mean. Now, I know what you're going to say. A wild card, you're stuck with these players and you don't really want them. But at the end of the day, my team needs a reshuffle, man. Like, I've got a wild card. I might as well use it. It'd be silly to wild card in 30 because there's only 4 teams. Right, at least we've got some doublers playing this week that I can maximise. And I can bench them in 30. And free hitting in 30, I just don't think is really on the cards anymore. Because, you know, what I'm saying is I've still got the same problems going into 31. And I also cannot maximise the doubles from this week. Because I had such a shocker last week, I need to have a better double game week ahead of the blank in 30. So that is why I'm thinking right now. And I'm just thinking as well, I need to use like a big chip in 33 or 36. That could be my bench boost. So if I use my bench boost then I'd rather use it then than have to use it now. Because my bench is pretty awful. Like, my players are injured and what have you. But I can build towards having doublers on my bench for 33 or 36 with normal transfers. Whereas doing it now on the wild card, I'm not going to bench boost in 30. So this is what I'm saying. It makes sense to do the wild card in my situation. It's very team dependent, Chips. That's what you've got to remember. But look, we're maximising it. So let's just do what we planned in our heads. So what we were thinking was Cody. Now, I know what you're going to say. Wolves' defence is not attractive. I know. But although they've been a bit recently shoddy, I think they are still solid enough, right? And it's someone that plays in 30 against Leeds and plays in 29 against Everton. So not too bad fixtures. Now, Cody's not scored that many goals, and I could play the extra for size. But look, let's see how much money we've got when we put this in. So the other thing I was going to do was obviously have another defender for 29. So I need kind of a defender that doubles. Now, obviously, Tierney plays in 29. So you say, well, why would you get rid of him? But even if he's got more attacking threat than Ben White, Tierney's been awful recently. And that extra million or so, 0.5 million that I saved by getting White could be massive. You never know. So let's just put in White for now. We also had a little bit of... who was the other one? I just need to look through defenders, to be honest, because I did have a plan in my head, and now it's gone. So I was going to get in... was it Matip? It could have been Matip, to be fair. I mentioned how Matip was a good option, but I don't know if he was the one I was thinking of. Anyway, where actually is it? Okay, I tell you what. We're going to go and make our wildcard team off air. We're going to end the video there. I know this has been an awful FPL preview, but you know what? My wildcard is just going to be so last minute that I can't even tell you what my team is. So look, just let you know that I'm wildcarding. We'll see what comes out the other end of 29, and then we'll catch up, okay? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I know it's a weird one, but sometimes you just got to let it be. Let it be.